not very good focus and stuff like that. You'll notice that the focus starts to get a little bit better in a moment. It's where I actually realised the autofocus was actually turned off. So you'll notice that in these ones there is more colour starting to appear, and it's more predominant. As the focus clears up, you can actually even see that they are generating from what look to be different light sources from on it. But you'll start to see what looks to be morphing as it's moving out of sight. I've got to constantly keep up with it. You'll notice that I retrack and everything. The little jumps from top to bottom is me actually cutting out a section where I've actually moved the tripod around and retracked it. Even though it is in the sky, it basically moving fairly fast, so it is hard to track with a video camera. And you'll notice that the flickering and movement around on side to side, if the light flickers on one side, the black tends to get larger on the other side, and there's reds, greens, blues. The blue is more predominant at the top of the orb. The pinks and reds are more predominant lower. Yellow is more predominant to the left-hand side as you're looking at it. The green is more predominant to the top as well. But it's hard still to see it at the moment because the autofocus still hasn't been fixed here. But you'll notice a tremendous difference once the autofocus is fixed. But all I can do is just basically talk you through it. It's just what I saw in the sky this morning. I do have footage from last week. I'm just trying to locate that footage at the moment. I will put that footage up here as well. It is of the same orb or similar orb. It appeared in a similar way, just appeared in the sky and just disappeared the same as this one did. And yeah, not to be seen again. It appeared the other day only for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, where today it was in the sky for nearly 45 minutes before it vanished. I did notice it the other day out the back of my house to the north, which does not line up with the trajectory that this one was on today. You can notice that the colours, it's starting to flash with all these different colours now. Even though the focus is still not there, you can notice that these colours are going absolutely nuts, as if it's it reminds me of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, actually, where they're moving all the colours and saying bing, bing. But I suppose that's just what it looks like. Yeah, it's hard to, when you don't have different things happening with the thing. All I can talk about is the flashing of the colours. But yeah, these orbs and everything have had me fascinated for a while. But to actually see an orb with black sides, where the black sides are visible with the naked eye, yeah, is intriguing. And as I said, this is only the second time that I have actually caught this particular orb. You never know, I may have actually caught this orb at night, because I have seen orbs that flash like this at night time, and when you think about it at night time you wouldn't see those black sides. But because this is daylight, and please forgive the time, that time should read 5:39, not 4:39. It's not set to daylight savings yet. I do have to fix that. But yeah, you notice that the colours are getting quite nuts here, and they are going quite vigorous. To me it was like as if they knew that I was filming it, because it sort of absolutely went balmy. And I think in a second that I realised that the autofocus is not on, and I do actually turn it back on in this. I don't know, it's most probably a couple of minutes away still yet. But the shape of the orb is quite eerie. Now at the moment you're just basically seeing something that's a bit out of focus, which is something I'm going to have to actually do. So when you're actually filming these things, guys, always make sure your autofocus is on. Otherwise you get this blurriness, and it does affect the quality of your video and what you're actually filming. And but I didn't want anybody to miss what this orb was doing and the colour of the orb, because it's not very often you get orbs this close where you can get a good shot of the colours splashing around on them, and the colours were still visible because the brightness of the morning sky had not fully taken over yet. I don't know whether that's why it pops up at this time in the morning, so it can be still seen, and but as if it wanted to be seen, because the way it's reacting with those colours to me says, look at me, look at me. Where you get some that just, the orb just floats along and you're just seeing a silver orb, where this to me is not a silver orb. This is, something's definitely happening with this. I can't tell you exactly what's happening with it, why it's happening like this, but there is something definite to this. What, why, I can't tell you, because all I've got is a video shot of it. All I could do there was basically just stand there with my camera trying to keep it attached to the orb. The movement is, as I said, is me. It is not the orb. There were a couple of sharp movements, but I did actually cut those out because they're in a section where it just basically looked like I may have actually picked the tripod, but they were actually of it. But so people can't say it was me kicking the tripod, I've left it out. But the orb, as you can see, there is something definite about these colour, the way these colours are jumping in, jumping out. Sometimes they're all there, but as you can see now, it's like just one colour happening, and another colour, then another colour. At the moment, as you can see, it's jumping between blue and green. Yet before, the reds and everything were there, so it's not something that if it was a star, you'd know it would be. You know what stars look like, you can tell. They definitely don't look like this, but actually, I think this is, you can start to see it's actually morphing here. I did notice the morphing starting to happen, and then basically we're getting very, very close to the actual true morph of it, because in the section after there was a bright flash, as you can see here, there was the bright flash that just basically just flashed me. I don't know whether it was the sun just popping out, but I don't think it was the sun, because I was focused on the orb when it happened, and it was as if I lost the orb all of a sudden. But any second now you'll actually see its true shape. There it is, folks, a saucer shape, and it held it, and as you can see there, it's actually holding that shape, and it's, as you can see, it folds back into the orb. It's not me, there's no trickery there. As you can see, it truly was the orb itself. It does one more just before it disappears. It blows out into another shape. You'll see a bright flash again any second, and then it comes back into a weird little shape, and then it just disappeared. It just vanished as quick as it came. Here it goes. It's about the bright flash any second again. So as you can see, the orb's actually changed at the moment. It's quite weird. It's sort of more to, as if it's sort of doing something with itself, as if it is morphing, because you can't see the colours anymore. There goes the flash there, and it's almost ready to disappear, because it makes one more movement, I think, with the, yep, there we go. Did you notice, there it is? It goes into the saucer shape, then it comes back to the orb, and any second now it's just going to poof, disappear. And that was the last I saw of it, because it just did all the movement. Whatever it did, it was so fast that I didn't even catch it. And basically then when I tried to reacquire it, just wasn't there. You can see me searching for it, but the orb was just no longer in the sky. And yeah, no matter how hard I tried to locate it, and with the sun coming up as well, yep, there it goes. Oh, hang on. I think this is the bit where it just vanishes, goes, and goes gone. Any second now. There it goes. Huh? That was one. That movement was not me. That was the orb itself going. I've jumped out to try and focus on it. As you can see, the orb is no longer in the sky. It had actually vanished. Not